You're listening to the Midlife Edit. Think of this as your remix for midlife strength, mindset, and living unapologetically. I'm Jen, your host, and together we're making this chapter not just good, but a damn good chapter. This is the Midlife Edit. Hey, friends, and welcome back to the Midlife Edit. I had this moment recently where I looked at my Google Calendar and I realized that every single thing on it was for somebody else. For work, or stepkids, or kids, or families, or appointments, groceries, laundry, run this person here, pick this up there, make sure you get Christmas presents. This is what's happening there. And then I thought, holy shit, when did I disappear from my own life? Not dramatically, not all at once, but one tiny compromise at a time. That, my friends, is what losing yourself actually looks like. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about when you lose yourself and then how to come back home. There is an invisible load that a lot of us women carry. We're the emotional air traffic controllers, right? We're the ones who remember everything and we organize everything and we keep the house, the term housekeeper is so much more than just cleaning up. You're keeping your house together. You are making sure that your house runs properly. It's a business in itself, right? That's a job in itself to make sure that the groceries are being bought and the food is being made and the toilets are being cleaned and the laundry is being done and that it's decorated the right way and everybody has everything they need. You are the one who runs the show. You're the CEO of your own house, right? You're making sure that the wheels don't fall off. And you're balancing being a mom or a stepmom and a wife and an employee and a sister and a daughter and a friend. And somewhere under all of that is just us. Except no one asks for her needs. They come for things like food or rides or emotional validation, problem solving, help, support. We love people in our lives, right? We love them all. We want to show up for them. But most of us were never taught how to show up for ourselves, too. It's the juggling act that women struggle to figure out all the time. And the one place that I want to start is the stepmom reality. And I want to start here because this is where a lot of my listeners live. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say some things that maybe aren't said in everyday life, but you're thinking it if you're a stepmom. Being a stepmom is one of the most complex emotional roles on earth. It is fucking hard. For anybody that tells you that it isn't, they're a liar. Being a stepmom is tough. Do I love it? Yes. Would I change it for the world? No. But do I like it every single day? No. It's hard. Because you do everything a mom does. You grocery shop and you make the meals and you help with homework and rides and emotional support and cleaning and remembering all the little tiny things. But you do it with less authority, without credit, and often without acknowledgement. You're loving children who may not fully love you back, and not because they don't care, but because they're stuck between two worlds, right? There are different rules in different homes. There are adult opinions outside of your walls, and there's gossip, and loyalty conflicts, and there's threats, and there's emotional pressure. And you're not only dealing with what's happening inside, but you still have to deal with what's happening outside, right? When they're not with you, they're still your family. They're still your kids and your husband's kids, and you still have to worry about what goes on outside. But you don't have a say. If you have a mom on the other side who is welcoming to you and who co-parents very well and loves the fact that their children have somebody else that can help raise them and love them just like their own, that's amazing. But you're still going to have issues, right? And then on the other side, if you have a very high conflict person who doesn't want to co-parent and thinks that things should just be their way and wants to put you down and talk badly about yourself and your house and what goes on in your house and try to get information out of the children and constantly threaten legal action because they don't get their way, well, hell, that sucks. And it's exhausting. And you feel like somebody else is running your life. But yet you're expected to show up and be steady and have patience and manage the whole atmosphere of it all and remain quiet and never, ever get emotional. If you speak up about an issue, if you ask for respect or boundaries, you instantly become the problem. And not because you did anything wrong, but because you have expectations. Being a stepmom or a bonus mom, it's an act of deep love, but often there's very little protection. And another layer that makes it even heavier is the financial strain, right? Blended families are expensive. You know, everybody's situation's a little bit different, but even if, in the state that you live in, it can vary from state to state, but even if you have the kids the same amount of time in certain states, if it's one night extra or if you make more money than the other person, you're still expected to pay child support. But on top of that, there's still extracurricular activities and medical bills and all of the stuff that you have to buy them for your house because they're not allowed to bring anything from the other house over here. And the activities and there's adult children who still need help and school fees and constant groceries and gas, and sometimes someone outside of your home believes they should control how money is spent too. So you make compromises, not because you want to, but because you want peace. And then you realize peace is expensive. And the invoice is always sent to the stepmom. Yeah. So all of this stuff, plus you are trying to navigate a newish relationship, or even if you're 5 or 6 or 7 years in, you're trying to manage this relationship that you're building with your partner, and you find yourselves fighting over the issues pertaining to the kids. Blended families are hard. They're not for the weak. They're not for everybody. Again, I wouldn't change it for the world, but sometimes it's stressful. And when your emotional and financial bandwidth is consumed by everybody else, there's nothing left for you. So no wonder you feel lost. And here's where it all comes together. When your home has tension, you feel responsible for managing it. You scan the faces and you read the tones and you replay conversations in your head, and you're constantly thinking, are they upset? Did I do something wrong? Is this going to blow up? Or I'll just apologize so it just stays quiet. I'll put my tail between my legs and suck it up and keep dealing with the disrespect and the blatant disregard for anything that I say. And you apologize for things you didn't do just to keep the peace. It's called emotional surveillance, and it's hypervigilant. And your body, though, it's your body that's keeping the score. So for some people, it shows up like anxiety and exhaustion and shallow breathing and tight shoulders. And other people can actually make you physically ill, carrying all this emotional stress and burden on you. You're not reacting to reality. You're reacting to the fear of conflict. Because you know what happens when conflict comes. You're the one who gets labeled dramatic or too emotional or the problem or you're crazy. But the truth is, you're not reacting to this moment right here. You're reacting to the hundred moments before it. You're reacting to the issues that continue to happen time and time again. And all those times you were promised something would change and it didn't. All the forced apologies with no action behind them, that's what you're reacting to. All the I'll handle it moments that never got handled. So yeah, you blow up because you've been holding it together for a very long time. And this isn't about one dirty dish or one comment. It's about patterns and repetition and disappointment and the unkept agreements. And it's not small. This isn't something that just gets brushed off. Just because the person that is talking to you about it, whether it's the child or your partner, just because they think it's small, doesn't mean that you can't care about it. It's not small. And when the same things keep happening over and over and over again, and you're told that they'll be taken care of over and over again, it changes you. It's a betrayal of trust. Listen, I want to make something clear. I'm not sharing this for self-pity. I don't feel sorry for myself, and I don't want anyone else to feel sorry for me either because, yeah, some of these things happen in my household, but some of them don't. I'm not complaining, and I'm not trying to be negative. This is clarity because empowerment begins with honesty, and we have to start being honest to ourselves. You can tell the truth about how heavy it's been and still be hopeful. This isn't a sad episode. This is a fucking comeback episode. So let's talk about how you lose yourself quietly. You lose it. You lose yourself quietly, and it's not, again, it's not in one dramatic collapse. It's not like you woke up one day with amnesia, like who the hell am I? But it's the thousand tiny moments where you bend so no one else breaks. You say things like, I'll handle it. I'll go last. I don't need that. Don't worry about me. I'll just take care of it. Your wants get quieter and your needs get blurry, and you disappear in the name of peace. You apologize for things that you don't want to apologize for because you know that it's just going to make things easier for everybody else. And then you hold that all inside of you. And you clean up after everybody because nobody else is doing it. And before you're one of those people that says, well, why don't you just stop doing it? That's not fair either, right? Because we should want to stop doing it and know that somebody else is going to step up and do it. But when they don't, I want to live in a clean house. I want things to be done. I like making sure that laundry's done and that there's not dishes in the sink. That brings me a calm of peace. And when it's my house and I'm the CEO of the household, yeah, I kind of expect other people to at least clean up after themselves. And so you either are a bitch about it and you're like, I'll just fucking do it, or you do it anyway, you do it quietly just to keep the peace, and then you're exhausted. And then when you want to sit down to read a book or watch a show that you want to watch or do something that you want to do, all of a sudden everybody else wants something different. So you compromise and you don't ever speak up for what you want. So now in midlife, and I've talked about this a lot, how we're coming into ourselves again, it's kind of lifting the fog. This is when you realize I cannot manage everyone else's emotions anymore. I can't keep the peace at the cost of myself. I can't keep apologizing for existing. And I don't want to disappear from my own life. I want to be in the story, not just supporting everybody else's. That makes me a little emotional. Because, for the 20s and 30s years, we think we know who we are, right? And whether you didn't speak up for yourself then or you spoke up too much and you didn't know what you wanted, you kind of had a sense of, this is me. Like, I do things for me. And people may have labeled you selfish. And then maybe you didn't have that at all. Maybe you started having babies really early or got into a relationship with a man or a woman who had previous children, and you're in this role and you're worrying about everybody else all the time. And we grew up taught that taking care of ourselves was selfish. We were raised to be helpful and thoughtful and accommodating and pleasing. But nobody told you that you could not pour from an empty life. Self-care is not about bubble baths and candles, although I do love a good bubble bath. Self-care is boundaries and rest and saying no and taking 20 minutes just to be by yourself. It's eating food you enjoy. It's movement. It's peace. It's letting others handle their own feelings. Self-care is not an indulgence. It's maintenance. Your physical and emotional well-being is not a luxury. It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility for yourself and for your kids and for your marriage and for your sanity. Hear me when I say this, you guys. You can't be the emotional foundation for everyone else if you're crumbling underneath. Taking care of yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. So, how do you come home to yourself? Coming home to yourself doesn't mean burning your life down. So, when I'm saying all of this and all of these things, that doesn't mean you just stop doing everything, right? But it does mean adding you back in. So, first, ask, what do I want right now? Not someday, right now. Is it having coffee alone, or a walk, or sunlight, or the gym, or silence, or music in the car, or screaming at the top of your lungs while driving down the road so you don't scare anybody else in the house, or a journal and 20 minutes alone, or maybe it's you get to pick the TV show at night, or maybe it's you get to not have to sit around and watch what everybody else is watching, but go read your book for 20 minutes. Small desires lead you home. So, what's next? That calendar at the beginning of the episode that I was talking about, start putting you on that calendar. If it's not scheduled, it doesn't exist, right? So this week, schedule in your calendar a workout, a solo errand, therapy, journaling, reading, laughter, a hobby, a concert. Not because it produces anything, but because it produces you. And then let's put up some boundaries because you can love people and have limits. Saying things like, I can't right now, or I need a minute, or I'm not taking responsibilities for feelings that aren't mine, or I'm not fixing messes that I didn't make. Guys, boundaries aren't rejection, they're self-respect. So then let's go back to reconnecting with who you were before all these people needed you. What did you love? Maybe it's music, or running, or writing, or travel, or creativity, or fashion, or concerts, or laughter. Those things aren't extra, they're identity. The path back to yourself is paved with the things you forgot you loved. What are those things for you? What is something, if you sit and really think about it, that instantly brings a smile to your face? So, here's my declaration. 2026, that's going to be the year of me. And it's not selfish or dramatic, and I'm not abandoning my life, but I'm walking back into my life fully because I want to be present and joyful and strong and honest and creative and rested and grounded. And I'm done apologizing for existing, and I'm done apologizing for my feelings because my feelings are mine. And I'm done doing all of that. I want to be a main character in my own life again, not instead of my family, but alongside them. Because I matter too. So, friends, losing yourself isn't failure. It's what happens when you love deeply and give fully. But finding yourself, that's an act of love too. You didn't disappear by accident. You were busy caring for everybody else. You were carrying the weight of the emotional burden that was put on you, or the financial burden, or the physical burden of changing your life and making sure that everybody else was happy before you were. So now it's time to care for yourself. Not at the expense of others, but alongside them. Please remember that you didn't lose yourself. You just stopped looking. She's still here, and she's waiting for you. Are you going to make 2026 the year that you get back to yourself? Why don't you make that declaration with me? 2026 is the year of me. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm saying it now. I'm saying it out loud. I'm going to start sticking up for me. Whether it's out loud or emotionally or internally, I'm going to start sticking up for me. Your comeback begins when you put your name back on that list. You're the headliner, friends. I am the gem of my life, right? And that's what I'm going to do in 2026. One step at a time. One book at a time. One page at a time sometimes. But I'm going to get back to me. And I want you to get back to you too, because we're fucking great people. We're fun. And we're lovable. And we deserve to be our true selves. I hope that you are doing what you can to make the holidays great for not just everybody else, but for you too. So my one thing this week is I'm going to watch a Christmas movie by myself. One that I want to watch and pay attention to and truly enjoy the moment of maybe a hot chocolate by the Christmas tree. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. As always, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, 5-star review, do all the things. Check out the midlifeeditco.com for, I don't know, some swag if you want some swag. Feed the People tour shirts are still up there. 100% of the proceeds go to Feeding America. Go check out my blog. Visit me on Instagram or TikTok at the Jen Weinstein. Tell me that you're going to make 2026 the year of you. Until next week, friends, this is the Midlife Edit. Let's make it a damn good chapter. You've been listening to the Midlife Edit, your remix for midlife. Remember, we're making this chapter not just good, but a damn good chapter. Want more? Join the Midlife Edit Insiders group on Facebook for deeper conversations, grab the curated playlists to fuel your comeback tour, and check out the merch that lets you wear your midlife with pride. Everything's linked for you in the show notes. And until next time, keep living bold, strong, and unapologetic. This is the Midlife Edit. Let's make it a damn good chapter.